Hi, I'm Joel Freeman. For 20 seasons, I served as mentor chaplain for the NBA Washington Bullets, now called the Wizards. Back in the day, this period of time was during what we could call the pre-digital era, so I have very few photographs or videos to share with you. But recently, I rediscovered some old video clips I had considered to be lost, including a segment you'll see shortly with one of the most influential NBA players who ever played the game, the Hall of Famer, Wes Unseld. But let's back up a bit. This is me in the state of Maine, 1972, as an 18-year-old long-haired hippie and dope-smoking fool. By the time this picture was taken, I had already left my home in Alberta, Canada, almost 2 years prior, hitchhiking thousands of miles around North America. And what's really crazy is that just 7 years later, after this picture had been taken, I became one of the first chaplains in the history of the NBA. You can only imagine how much juvenile thinking and adolescent behavior I had to confront in my life during those 7 years in order to function proficiently at the NBA level by that time. My job included connecting with the players and their families, the event staff, and the folks in the front office. My 2 decades with the team commenced a short time after the Washington Bullets had defeated the Seattle Supersonics to become the NBA World Champions in 1978. And guess what? Even though I was 25 when I started, I could have passed for a teenager of perhaps 16, 17 years of age. In fact, here's a brief segment from a 1989 TV interview at 35 years of age, already a seasoned 10-year veteran as an NBA chaplain.
Every once in a while, I'll have a guy come up to me and he'll say, "Can you wait around till after the game and we'll go out to dinner?" Or I'll get a phone call. They'll be down in San Antonio or out in Portland or something like that, and I'll get a phone call late at night and they'll want to talk about something. And it's just, basically, I'm just there letting them know I care, and then they come to me when they have a need. They open up their hearts, and I respect the confidentiality of it all. Elvin Hayes and Kevin Porter came out to chapel there in Boston, and they said, we need something like this down in the Washington area. So about 2 weeks later, there I was having lunch with them and architecting a plan to do this.
It was Bill Alexon who first introduced me to Elvin Hayes and Kevin Porter. And when I first began this journey, I had no mentor, and especially in the first couple of years, I was sometimes an internal bundle of insecurity with periodic feelings of inadequacy as a young adult trying to function professionally at the NBA level. And the guys on the Bullets team and visiting players throughout the league must have been thinking, yeah, right. And I'm supposed to spill my guts to that young kid from Canada? You gotta be kidding me. I was on hand to see the growth of the NBA chaplaincy program from an exceptional inside vantage point as a part of the NBA family. Furthermore, my rather unique interest in Black history was birthed during long talks with many of the Black players. They were sharing insights and asking questions that caused me to study, listen, and then listen some more. A more intensive interest in Black history research was launched in 1980 with the development of my Black history collection starting about 15 years later in the mid-1990s. Despite what many casual observers might think, pro athletes are challenged by various situations at a whole different level. Their position in life attracts a lot of insincere people with hidden agendas, and some with not-so-hidden agendas. In fact, the real intentions motivating some people who hang around the players may not be truly revealed until perhaps, 7 or 8 years later. All I knew when I was with the team was that I was to be a trustworthy person who could keep confidences, never ask for anything, manage my expectations, be a good listener, be willing to tell the truth when asked for my thoughts on a personal matter, always genuinely offering to pay at restaurants and golf courses, and also to love the guys and their families unconditionally. Perhaps one of the biggest miracles of all is that in those 20 seasons, I ended up surviving 6 coaching changes and 3 general manager changes, from when I started in the 1978-79 season to when I retired in the 1998 season. And I'm still astonished by that because new coaches always seem to clear the deck when they join a new team. The story of how the NBA chaplaincy program was launched is the subject of a book I'm writing, tentatively titled Finding the Open Man, subtitled The Surprising Benefits of Unselfishness. Along with telling my story and revealing the intent behind the invention of the game of basketball by James Naismith, I will be showcasing the importance of unselfish play in the game of basketball to help us better understand what it means to live without the pervasive addiction to self-absorption, self-centeredness, and selfishness. Let me know if you'd like to be on the list to acquire that book when it's completed. I still keep in touch with a lot of the retired players, but I do miss many of the players who have already passed on. Guys like Wayman Tisdale, Manute Bol, Kevin Duckworth, Mel Turpin, Dan Roundfield, Daryl Dawkins, Moses Malone, Armin Gilliam, Mark Eaton, and so many others. It's a constant reminder that life is short. Wes Unseld is another player who has left a big hole in many of our hearts. Earlier, I promised that I would share a previously lost video clip with Wes, and here it is.
Yeah, well, I was playing when Joe actually started the chapel service here, and the biggest obstacle of maintaining a good life in this league is to have some stability. And if this provides some comfort to some of these guys, then it's well worth it.
The Freeman Institute Black History Collection is made up of well over 3,000 genuine artifacts and documents, with the oldest dated 1553.